Hi everyone, and welcome to Watercolors with Jaylene. So for today's tutorial, we're going to do a cute little snowman card for the upcoming holidays. So this is my go-to card that I make year after year, and everybody loves it year after year. It's really quick and easy to do, so I'm going to show you how to draw it as well as paint it and put the entire card together. So before we get started, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my video. I really appreciate it. It does help me grow. Feel free to leave questions or comments below. I will also have a materials list down in the description box, so if you want to refer to that, you can. So real quick, I will go over my materials list. I have my greeting cards. They're just blank greeting cards that I purchased at the craft store, and they do come with matching envelopes. The cards that I use measure 5.5 by 4 inches, and then the solid paper, the background paper, I cut that from a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I cut that down to 3.5 inches by 4.5 inches. And then the smaller watercolor paper that I actually put the drawing on measures 3 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. So those are the sizes I use. You may have your own cards that are a different size that you can format everything to. Then I do have double-sided tape to put the layers together. And of course I have my glitter glue that I add to the card afterwards, because it just adds a little bit of Christmas festivity to the whole look of it. And on these cards I do like to add a little bit of a border, just because the design itself is so plain, and so to kind of dress it up just a little bit, I do add a border to it. So I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay, so I'll set that aside, and then to get started, we will draw the snowman on. And I always draw with a pencil and then go over it, of course, with the marker once I have it the way I want it. So to get started with this, don't feel intimidated by having to draw this, because it really is very easy. So you'll just start with the body. I kind of work from the bottom up. So start with the body and just do two curved sides, and then for the bottom we have the snow, so we don't have to worry about that. And then for the scarf, we just want, and I do this really light because obviously afterwards I'll be erasing all of the pencil marks. So I just kind of pencil that in, and then for the head we do round, and then we do put the nose in, which is a carrot, of course. Add a smile, a nice big smile. And then for the scarf, we have it kind of wrapped over and then hanging down behind. And then just a couple of arms coming out. And that's how quick and easy it is to draw the snowman. So then I will take my permanent marker, which I like to use the Micron 05 nib. These are a permanent waterproof marker. If you have a Sharpie marker, you know, a fine point Sharpie marker, that would work well also. So now I'll just go over this. And what I will make sure not to do are some of these lines, because I'll be erasing them. I'll show you what I mean. So then when I get over to this where the scarf is flung over or wrapped over or whatever, I just kind of do a little bit of a bump there, and then around the side. All right, and then up for the head, make sure that you don't draw in where the carrot nose goes. So you want to stop there. And then the arms. Sometimes when I'm doing these, I might have a little ornament hanging, you know, a little ball ornament hanging from the arm or the hand. And I do like to make it a little bit thicker down towards where the arm meets the body. There, and just kind of color that in. So see how quick and easy that was? There's really nothing to it. So then I take my eraser, get rid of all of my pencil lines. Okay. All right, so now I do use two different size brushes. Well, I have my 8 round, and then I also have my 1 round. So I will start with my 1 round. That's probably what I'll use the most of for this. So for the colors that I use in this, let me pull this back down. It's pretty basic. I just have actually 1 color of green. I have orange for the nose, permanent rose, really light for the cheeks, and then for the tassels on the scarf. And then real light for the snow, I use a turquoise. So it's, you know, basic colors also. So we'll start with the turquoise and just kind of paint in the snow, and very lightly. You don't need a lot of paint on your brush for any of this, really. There, just kind of add a little bit of color to that. And now I'm going to take my green and for the scarf, you want to do this first layer very, very lightly. So use a lot of water and very little amount of color, because once we go over it with the, we're going to use the same color of green and go over it and just add some little squiggly lines to make it look like knitted layers. There, so that's really light and that's perfect. So then I'm going to grab just a little bit of orange, a little bit more orange. There's our nose. And then just real light with the permanent rose. We want barely any on there because we're just adding a little hint of color to the cheeks, keeping it very light. And then with the permanent rose, I will add a little bit more to my brush. And then we can add some squiggles for like the tassels hanging down. Okay. And now because we did that green and it was so light, it dries pretty quickly. So we're going to go back over that and add the, well, we're going to wait a minute because it is still just a little bit damp. So while we're waiting for that, I'll tell you what I want to do is I do like to add a couple little dots in the snow just for a little bit of texture. And then while we're waiting for all of that to dry, we'll go ahead and add the little frame around this. And you can do whatever type of frame you want. If you don't want one, that's fine too. And I just do little, almost like X's, without lifting my marker off the paper. And I just kind of eyeball it. Obviously, I don't measure or anything. And the lines aren't always perfect. Okay, so you can see how quick this is. And like I said, I make these year after year because they are so quick and easy, but everybody loves them. I have one girl that she frames these, and I think I've mentioned it before that a lot of people do frame a lot of my cards that I send them. It's kind of cute that they do that. All right, so now I am going to go back in and we're going to add the squiggle lines. Just to make it, you know, give the scarf a little bit of a knitted texture. And then we'll go sideways. And if you wanted to use a different color, you know, if you have like a favorite holiday color that you might want to add instead of the green, go for it. Okay, so that's really all there is to drawing and painting the little snowman. And then for my colored piece of background paper, I'm using a light blue, and I did put that same little frame or border on that. And I do see a little bit of a pencil line still there. So I will take my double-sided tape and turn both of these over. And it just takes a little chunk. You don't need a whole lot of it. Just enough to give it a little bit of a lift from layer to layer. If you wanted to use the flat double-sided tape and not really have a lift of your layers, that works great too. I do that once in a while with my cards if I run out of the foam double-sided tape. Okay, so for this, we'll just take this off. And if I had fingernails, it probably would work a little better. Okay, so there again, just kind of eyeball it. You don't have to measure anything. And then grab your card and same thing. Just take this tape off. Or the protectant. Okay, and then eyeball that, and there. That's how quick it is to put that card together, to paint, draw it, paint it, put it together. And then of course with my glitter glue, as I mentioned, I have to add this to everything. And I do go through and add just a little bit of it in the snow. And then I'd like to go around the edge, my little framed edge, and just do a real quick line of the glitter around that also. It's the holidays, so we need a little bit of glitter, right? And then for the glitter glue, it does take a few minutes for that to dry. So once you get this on here, just be sure not to touch it for probably about 5 or 10 minutes until it's good and dry. Okay. So that is the little snowman greeting card for the holiday season. And on this card, I did go ahead, oh no I didn't. With this card, I went ahead and I stamped a little saying on the inside. So if you have any holiday stamps and you want to add something to the inside, that's always nice, or leave it blank either way. So that is everything. And as I mentioned earlier, I will have the materials list down in the description box. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you could do that now, I would really appreciate it. And like my video, leave comments and watch for more videos. I'll have a lot of fun holiday things coming up in the next few weeks. So have a great day and ciao for now.